Hello guys, it's me, Kirill, your justice analyst from Belarus living in Germany, and I'm so happy to be back because it's finally time to talk about the contestants of Eurovision 2025. Why do we start with Greece, you might ask? Because obviously it's not the first country to select their entry for Eurovision 2025, but I didn't listen to any others. But Greek selection for me, it was something special, what I couldn't miss. We have seen last time Greek selection, I think back in 2017 or so, when the song was selected for Demi. But I think the downfall of Greek selections already started earlier in 2012 due to lack of budget. They had to even organize it in a shopping mall.
Οι νικητές έρχονται, οι νικητές κατεβαίνουν.
Now we had this great selection called Ethnikos Telikos or something like that. I have absolutely no idea what that means, but I still watched it. Maybe it was not the most entertaining show. I think it took like an hour before they even started to show the songs, but I'm not against it. It's better than no selection. Basically, there was just a very obvious top three. The contestants who got the third place was a little bit behind, but I think this was a completely new name in the Eurovision world, and everyone's now excited to see Barb's back one day. And the second place contestants, Evangelia, already tried to represent Greece and Cyprus so many times in Eurovision. It seemed like finally it will be her moment, but unfortunately she also got the second place. She won the international jury vote, but the Greek jurors and the Greek public didn't see her winning. But who became the winner? And it's just 22 years old Klavdia, so very young singer. She came to prominence in 2018 when she was kind of like 16 years old, when she was competing in The Voice of Greece. She was in team of Elena Paparizou, by the way, and she reached the finals, but she didn't make it into the top three. And her most famous performance was the cover of the song Roxanne. And in 2022 was her biggest success with the single Asteromata, which received even double platinum certification in Greece. And following that success, Klavdia already tried to represent Greece in the Eurovision Song Contest 2023, but unfortunately her song was not selected. She managed to be among the finalists, but not among like the three best ones, so not in the sort of super final. Anyway, the selection was happening behind the closed doors, but at least she has released her song as a single later. But now let's talk about her Eurovision entry, which is called Asteromata, which means star-eyed in English. So as you can see now on your screen, some parts of the lyrics, they tell us about her pleading to her loved one, whom she calls my little star-eyed one. She's definitely suffering a separation or loss from that person, saying that she would love to lean to kiss this person in the holy tears to extinguish her lips. There is this very beautiful phrase, sweet mother of mine, don't cry, my life is a boat looking for the way back with the wind in my sails. If Klavdia is telling us a story of some unhappy relationship, unhappy love, or is it really a story of this historical replacement of Greek people from Turkey territory? I don't know. I don't really want to go into these speculations. You have probably heard that the Turkish government has already accused the Greek representative in bringing political message to Eurovision, and they even want to send a claim to European Broadcasting Union. I really hope it doesn't escalate. The song is really not bringing any political agenda or any aggressive messages or anything like this. So let's just enjoy the music. I've heard the song just once while watching the national selection, so maybe in the studio version it sounds different. I'm really curious to hear it, and afterwards we'll go for the second listen with maybe the live performance where I will stop throughout and we will talk about it more in details. Let's go. So unfortunately there is no music video for the song, but at least we can listen to the MP3 track and see how much better or worse it sounds in comparison to the live performance. Let's go. Really, really entangling beginning of the song. Really, really slow build up. Her beautiful voice is so much in focus, really nice. This kind of hunting beat in the background, I really love this. The instrumental is gorgeous. This sounds like there are generations of Greeks standing behind her, like a nice fusion of modern beat and kind of folk music. Oh, really, really nice note. This scream is like a cry of her soul. Maybe in the end a little bit more power would be nice, but in general it's a very beautiful song with a really nice cultural component to it. So what can I say about this entry? I think this is kind of what we all love Eurovision for. This nice fusion of the ethnic components, something that really screams that the song is from Greece, with some nice modern touch. So in this case, this kind of electronic beat in it. I think it's a great fusion, and I really hope that the public will also resonate with this, because obviously in the semifinals it's only about public. I think it kind of reminds me, especially when I'm listening now to this MP3 track now, of the entry Oniromu by Yana Terzi. Maybe you remember that this was not a huge success for Greece. Yana failed to qualify into the final, but I don't think it was because her song was lacking something, rather that her live performance and her live vocals were lacking something. I don't think that with Klavdia it will be the case, because at least we have already seen her live performance at the Greek national selection. But now let's just go into the live performance and let's discuss it in detail. Alright, I actually almost forgot. Her song was written by Arcade, as you can see now on your screen. So Arcade is a sort of a team of composers and producers from Greece who work very actively with the Panic Records, the label which we all probably know, because they are producing the Greek entries since years for Eurovision, and also partially the Cypriot entries. And Arcade actually also co-wrote the entries for Greece for 2020 and 2021 by Stefania. And the same team was also behind Klavdia's entry for Eurovision 2023, which I have already shown you in the beginning of the video, which failed to win that selection back then. So yeah, seems like Arcade guys really know how to write something for Greece for Eurovision. Her vocals in the beginning of the song are just so crisp, so slick, so on point. It's a really captivating start. And also I think her face is so expressive without even expressing too much emotions. And also these glasses, you know, it's something what we usually don't see so much on stage. And I think it definitely adds some kind of coolness factor to this entry. Her agility, the agility of her voice, how she's doing all these belts is so fascinating. And in general, her transition from the head voice to the chest voice is also very impressive. So I think she's a really, really talented singer. I think the mixing of the sound, you know, how loud is the backing track, how loud is her voice, could definitely be improved for Eurovision, because I don't really hear this beat so much, this nice hunting beat in the background. I'm really missing it a little bit, so that's why it's also missing a little bit of strength. But still, she sounds great, it looks great. The background visual looks a little bit cheap, so it doesn't really look high quality, but again, it's something what can easily be polished for Eurovision. This is a very interesting idea, right? With this shape on stage. I think maybe it's also partially a tribute to Elena Paparizou, who was her coach at the Voice of Greece and who was also the host of the show, because obviously Elena Paparizou is the one who won Eurovision while having her dancers forming this number one on stage. So it's quite mesmerizing, but I'm not sure why they are doing this shell shape, because the song is called, I think, Star-Eyed. So maybe a star would make a little bit more sense. But if you know what should it mean, let me know down below in the comments. So here where this beat really kicks in, I think this would be a perfect time for the dancers to start doing some kind of rhythmic movement on stage to really let us feel the beat even better, because Klavdia is of course standing still on stage, which is definitely not bad, but at least the dancers should now kind of start running around her. So I think they can take some inspiration from Slovenia performance from the last Eurovision Song Contest, but there are also lots of other nice performances which can be taken as an example. It's like almost some kind of disco beat, you know, electronic, nice beat to which you can really vibe. And these dancers are just laying, like slowly waking up. I think here it doesn't fit. In the beginning it was great, but here we really need a lot of action. Okay, she nailed that high tone as well. Beautiful ending. It kind of ends where it began, so with this low-key a cappella vibe. I really like it, and it really fits well to the song. What a beautiful ethnic-inspired ballad from Greece this year. It's definitely right down my alley, my cup of tea. But if it's a cup of tea of the other viewers who will watch Eurovision, this we will discuss. First of all, let's take a look at the Greek history in the Eurovision Song Contest semi-finals. From 31 countries taking part in the semi-finals of Eurovision this year, because in the first semi-final we have 15 countries, in the second one 16. Greece is ranked 11th in the last 5 years with their results in the semi-final. They managed to qualify on 4 occasions out of 5 participations. Only with Victor Vernikos they failed to qualify. And if we take a look at all the last 15 years, you can see that Greece is ranked even 5th because they failed to qualify in accordance with the televote. I will just remind you that this is the result of purely televote without consideration of jury voting. They failed to qualify only 2 times. And in 2018, this entry by Jana Terzi on Euromo, which I have already mentioned, which is kind of having similar vibe to Asteromata, even managed to qualify in accordance with the televote. It was just ranked worse by the juries back then. But if we take a look at only the competitors from the same semi-final, so Greece is, by the way, in the semi-final number 2. Greece is ranked 5th in the last 5 years, and it's ranked even 2nd in the last 15 years. So Greece is sort of a country from which we all would expect that it qualifies. So I think taking a look at the Eurovision scoreboard app doesn't really make any sense at this point of time, but we can still take a look at the bookmaker results. Even with very few entries selected, they are always ranking all the countries, and you can see that Greece is currently sitting at the place number 12, which is still very good. I don't really see this entry finishing so high at this point of time, seeing this live performance from Ethnikos Telikos, because I think they still have a lot of things they have to work on. Only the vocals are not really enough. So with this performance, I'm also seeing Greece qualifying to the final, but not finishing 12th. For me, it's more in the area where Serbia ended last year, so I would say somewhere towards place 20 in the final. And if we talk about the potential stage, and as I have already said, I think the dancers should definitely participate more actively in the performance, especially after the first chorus. When the beat starts to kick in, I think this would be a great way in order to amplify the song and also to show its speed, its power, its strength. So because currently just the voices in the focus, and there are so many other cool things they can focus on. Also, I think Klavdia can definitely find a much cooler dress for Eurovision. Let her look like a Greek goddess, let her shine, let her have a lot of sparkles on her dress. The song is called Star-Eyed after all, so just put stars on her dress, let her shine. It's Eurovision, you know, we love glitter, we love sparkles, and I think this is something what this performance in the national selection was a bit missing, because the background visuals were a little bit not saturated enough, I would say. They were not really so captivating. They looked really muted, and I think her dress, which was kind of beige colored, was also not a highlight of the performance. So they really need to find some visual highlights, something captivating, what people would really enjoy watching. This is my first song of this year, and how good this year already starts. So I can't wait to listen to the other ones. So if you still haven't subscribed to my channel, if you're new here, definitely click the button to subscribe, to follow, because there is a lot of interesting content coming. I'm definitely not just listening to the songs, I'm really trying to analyze them, to give you some interesting background about the selection process and about the country's history in the Eurovision Song Contest. So if you're interested in this type of content, definitely subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.